Good afternoon, loves. This is Yamani Afunyale with Women's Empowerment and Dating Advice. Somebody asked me recently, what are these levels that you keep talking about? And for me to explain what the level system is and how this works. So this is going to be something that's different for everybody, but in my life, in dating, I put men on levels so I can know where they are and what to do with them. So level one is where everybody comes in. Level one is early stage dating. We're getting to know each other. Level one is where I am asking the questions and making the observations to know if this man is level two material, right? Some men are going to stay on level one because I like them. I like to spend time with them. I like to talk to them. And they either do not qualify according to my criteria to advance to level two, or they do not desire to advance to level two. In order to go to level two, all of those things have to happen. I have to like you. I have to like talking to you. I have to like spending time with you. You have to be qualified, and you have to want to move the relationship forward, and I have to want to move the relationship forward. So level one is like the catch-all, right? Level two is still dating, still non-exclusive, but we are now getting to know each other on a deeper level, on a more emotionally intimate level. And I stress the emotionally intimate part. At level two, a man will have gained my trust enough for me to allow him to cook dinner for me at his house, right? A house date. At level two, I've qualified this man as a high quality man who I desire, and I'm trying to see if this high quality man is right for me. If this high quality man is capable and willing and able to give me what I need. And I'm also learning about his needs and deciding if I am capable, able, and willing to provide what he needs. So that's what level two is about. We're still dating, but we're not exclusive. Level three is when a man has asked me to be exclusive with him. A man has asked me for a committed relationship, and I have answered yes. That is level three. At level three, more intimacies can take place, and we are building a relationship, a long-term commitment, and or marriage. I'm open to both, but we are exclusively seeing each other. Along the way, there are many boundaries and that I enforce depending on what level the person is on. On level one, I will not go over a man's house for a date. I will do that for a level two man. Level two is a higher degree of emotional intimacy. There's a lot more sharing at level two, but it's still not exclusive boundary there. Level three, now we're exclusive. We may explore physical intimacy on level three. We're in a relationship on level three, but in order for me to say yes to a relationship, there are some things that have had to take place. So in addition to qualifying this man for a relationship, in addition to assessing that he can give me what I need and I can give him what he needs, I have to meet his friends and family before I say yes to a relationship. I want to meet the important people in his life. I want to meet the people in his life who hold him accountable, and I want to create relationships with them. I need him to meet my people. Before I say yes to a relationship, I need him to meet the important people in my life, and I need to get their feedback about him. And all of this happens before I give a yes. So if that hasn't happened yet, then it has to happen once he asks me before I can say yes to him. I strongly believe that men should make proposals for relationships as well as marriage. And so this level system is for me. I rarely tell a man what level he's on. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes I might joke, and if a man asks to be physically intimate with me, or even if he asks for my exclusivity early on in the dating relationship, I might say, oh, you asking for level three activities and you only on level one. Because I know men like to play video games and shit. So I might say something like that jokingly. I'm being serious, but I might tease a little bit. Just kind of reminds him that we are not there yet. We're not nowhere near where you want to go. And that there's work that needs to be done before we can get there. But I don't throw it in a man's face or anything like that. These levels are for me, so that I can set boundaries at every step in the relationship, and so that I can govern my own behavior in relation to this man, and govern my mind. Remind myself if I'm catching too many feelings, or if I'm making certain demands, or if I'm feeling different things, different ways about his behavior. Like, hey, he's only on level 1. He's only on level 2. Come on now. So it's really for me to govern my own behavior throughout the relationship. And then there's level 4, which is an engagement, meaning he's proposed marriage and I've accepted his proposal for marriage. And then level 5 would be, of course, marriage. I do not spend a long time in relationships. I don't believe that anyone can waste your time, but you can allow your time to be wasted, and I refuse to allow my time to be wasted in jumping from one relationship to the next. It takes a while for me to get to the point of saying yes to a relationship, and I'm totally okay with that. I enjoy my process. I enjoy every step along the process, and there's no need to rush it. I believe strongly that men should make the proposals, and until a man has expressed to me that he wants to take the relationship to the next level, there is nothing to discuss. I am not the type of woman who's going to ask, what are we? What are we doing? Try to put a title on it. None of that. If he has not made a proposal, then I'm single. I'm single and dating. If I have not said yes to a proposal, it's not even about him just making a proposal, it's about me saying yes to a proposal of a relationship. I am single and dating other people. So if a man is interested enough in me that he wants to be the only man I'm seeing, then you got to speak up. You got to speak up. You got to make me an offer that I can't refuse. And I stand on that. And in the meantime, I'm enjoying my life as a single woman. I'm not in a rush to be in a relationship. Honestly, a relationship is not even a major goal for me. I'm open to that. I'm open to a marriage, but I got other things on the table that I got to get done in life, and I'm doing. And so I'm just not prioritizing a relationship right now, but I love to date. I love to get to know people better. I like being social. I like being in the presence of high quality men. And yeah, so I'm definitely available for that and open to that. I'm open to it all, but it has to be on my terms. I have a process, and a man who is interested in me has to follow the process. So yeah, if that doesn't happen, I'm okay with that. Totally okay with that. Very content with my life. I don't feel lonely. I don't feel those feelings of loneliness. Very happy. I'm in a good space in my life. I have a lot of things going on in my life that make my future look very bright, and I am excited about moving through time and space to get to where I intend to go. So those are the levels, and that's a little insight into my process. So some people, there are a lot of people that don't agree with dating multiple people. Some men don't agree with dating multiple people and don't like it. But I'm dating because I enjoy it. I'm not allowing anybody to come in and tell me what the process needs to be for them to feel comfortable. I'm only interested in aligning with people who are comfortable with the process, who at least are willing to go through the process even if they don't like it, because they're interested in getting to know me. I am not available for somebody to come into my life and tell me what I need to change in order for them to pursue me. That don't make no sense to me. I'm not doing that at all. And another thing is, like, this is very important too. I do not objectify men for relationships. Some of us, sometimes we feel objectified for sex by men. We feel like objectified for our bodies, and we don't like that feeling. We don't like people looking at us and valuing us based on our physical body and what we might be able to do for them, or what they can do with us physically. But a lot of times, women, we objectify men for relationships. We may not look at them and value them for what their body can do for us or what we can do with their body. But we do often look at men and immediately wonder, ooh, I wonder if it could be my husband. Oh, this might be my husband. I think I met my husband. Or we objectify them for relationships instead of just getting to know them as humans and being curious about who they are. And so when I date men, I am dating to learn who they are. I don't date for marriage. I don't date for the purpose of finding a man or a husband or a relationship. I date to get to know and to get to learn them better and discover who they are. And in that discovery, I'm going to learn whether this is somebody that would be suitable for me to be in a relationship with. All of that's going to be revealed over time. So that doesn't need to be my focus. That's going to be revealed as the dating relationship unfolds. That's going to just naturally be revealed. So I don't feel like I have to put pressure on that or make that my focus. I don't need to move things forward in that way. by taking the relationship off the table and just getting to know the person. It paces the dating relationship. It takes pressure off of dating. It creates friendships, because not every man that you date is going to be the man that you end up in a relationship with, as we know, right? But maybe the two of you decide that you're not really romantically interested in each other, but you love to talk to each other, or you're interested in some of the same things. You could be a great resource for each other as far as networking is concerned. So you can get great friendships from dating, from just getting to know people and not objectifying them for the relationship that you might want. Before you even know whether you will want a relationship with them, that's how we get caught up, y'all. Trying to have relationships with people who we don't even know if they're qualified. Making that the goal. That's not the goal. Your immediate goal with this strange person should be to get to know who they are. And then getting to know who they are, asking all the interesting questions that you need to ask to ascertain if this person qualifies to go behind level 2, regardless of whether they want to. You just want to know if they're qualified, right? You just open yourself up, you take the pressure off, open yourself up to just get to know the person and be naturally curious about them. You're going to discover if you want to have anything more with them. And you're also going to discover, because you're going to allow it to unfold, if they want anything more with you. That's the important part. That's why men need to do the proposing, because you want to know that they want you. And you want to know that they want you for you. Not for what you can give them, not for what you can do for them. Are they genuinely interested in you? This is an observation. There are certain questions that we need to ask to get information, and then there's certain observations that we need to make in order to learn a person. And you need to observe if this person is interested in getting to know you as a woman. That's something that you got to observe. That's not a question that you can really ask. So you got to give dating time so you can unpack all of these things. You don't want to date a man and come off like you're interviewing him and asking 20 questions on the first date. You want to ask a few questions, have a few things, 2 to 3 things that you want to learn about him, and ask those questions. Ask unique questions, unique open-ended questions where the answer is not obvious, where he has to actually dig deep and think about the answer. He might have to connect with himself emotionally in order to give you a proper answer. And you lean in, ask more about what he just said. Ask him to tell you more. You're learning. Be open to learning. Listen. And then do it non-judgmentally. That's another important piece. When you're dating, you don't want to be judgmental of these dudes. And I think a lot of us are. There's been a couple of incidences where I've dated men who, maybe around our second or third date, they asked me to split the bill. Or I remember this one guy, I went to the movies with him and paid for the movie. But when it came time to order food, he moved out the way. This was actually recently. He moved out the way. And I was like, oh, he wants me to pay for the food. Okay. When that happens, I don't spaz. I ain't tripping. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I'll pay for the food, but I'm never going out with you again. I'll do it, but I will never date you again. I probably won't talk to you again. That's not what I want. Those are not the dating experiences that I want to have. So if this is who you are, thank you for showing me who you are. I'm not gonna participate in dating you anymore. So we tend to spaz out, go off. You want to tell people off, talk slick, all that. You don't got to do none of that. Just your actions can speak so much louder than your words. They know what they did. You don't need closure. You don't need to explain it to them. You don't need to try to make them a better person. You don't need to explain why they should. None of that. If that's not who you are, if you're not that type dude that is offended by a woman pulling out her wallet on a date, I don't want you. Thank you for showing me who you are. This is all I need to know. There's nothing to argue about. Like, I ain't seeking to change that in you. That's who you are. That's who you be. I want the kind of man who is offended if a woman pulls out her wallet on a date. Because I don't like the way it makes me feel. It makes me feel like I'm emasculating a man when I pull out my wallet. So I don't want to do that. That's not the kind of dating experience that I want. And that's definitely not the kind of relationship that I want. That's not who I want to be. It's not how I want to feel. So anyway, I say all that to say, there's no reason to argue with these dudes. Let them show you who they are and allow them the space to answer questions honestly without your judgment. If you refrain from passing judgment on them, you're going to be able to observe the truth. You're going to be able to get the truth out of them, because the judgment is something that people can feel you doing. If they feel that you're not judging them, they're going to be more honest in their communications with you. They're going to really appreciate that, and they're going to be honest. And so now you have the information to make a decision, because he was honest with you, because he didn't feel judged by you. But in order for us to genuinely not judge people, We have to remove the dating for relationships off the table. We have to connect with people as human beings and just make the goal getting to know them better. When you make that your goal in dating, it becomes a lot easier just not to judge them, not to get angry at certain things that they say, and not to get angry at certain behaviors. Because I don't want to be angry. That's not the energy I want to carry. Those are not the feelings that I desire to feel. So I'm not going to allow myself to get angry about the actions of another person or the thoughts or beliefs of another person when they don't align with my own. I just make a decision. I just move around. If your answers to my questions tell me that you are not a high quality man, I'm not going to judge you. I'm just going to simply make a mental note that this is not a man that I can take seriously. This is not a man that I can move forward with. I'll explain my criteria for high quality man in another video. But sometimes, depending on the data that I get back for certain criteria, sometimes that's not a man that I can deal with at all. But sometimes it might be a man that I can be friends with. But just it's not going to be a man that I'm going to move forward with if I ascertain that he is not high quality, according to my criteria for a high quality man. So all that to say, we have to. It's very important to be non-judgmental when it comes to getting to know men, so that you can get to know them honestly, so they can be honest, so that they can feel free to be themselves. And that also will take you further when it is time to connect with a man, because if he feels comfortable getting to know you, he feels like he can be himself with you, that's going to actually, a lot of men don't feel like they can be themselves with you. So if you make him feel comfortable, if you make him feel like he's not being judged and that he can be honestly emote with you and be vulnerable, if this is a man that you like and would like to move forward with, you've won half the battle. Just by being open to what he has to say and not passing judgment, making him feel comfortable, making him feel like he's not being judged. You're building emotional connection when you do that with a man. So it benefits you in more ways than one to be non-judgmental when you're talking to a man, getting to know a man. You're getting the truth and you're creating emotional connection. What you do with that emotional connection will depend on the truth that you get and what decision that you would like to make once you have that truth. Just because a man wants to move forward with you doesn't mean that you have to move forward with him. And that's another thing. I also get the question asked of me, and usually from men, but sometimes from women. Well, if you're so good at dating, or if you don't know all this, why are you not in a relationship yet? Because I haven't found anybody that I connect with on that level, because I have not found anyone who is in alignment with me. It's not that I'm not getting offers, but it's just that the offers are not in alignment. I've done the assessment, and we have to have alignment, we have to have connection, we have to have attraction and chemistry for me. And if one of those things are not there, I'm going to pass, because I'm not desperate for a relationship. So I don't need to settle for less than what I desire when I can just continue to date and have a great time and enjoy my life. I'm not going to settle for that, because I know myself well enough to know what's going to make me happy and content with a relationship. And I refuse to be in a relationship being miserable. So I want to have what I desire. I don't think I'm asking for too much. And I've never asking for too much, just asking a raw man. So that's why I don't have a relationship yet. But I am enjoying the process thoroughly. There is way less disappointment with this process than I've ever had in my life. I go out a lot on dates. I'm getting to know a lot of men. There are men who, although we are not able to move forward and create a relationship for whatever reason, it might not be what they want, it might not be what I want, it might be a lack of alignment, maybe it's a lack of romantic connection, chemistry, maybe it's we have a different value system, we have completely different goals in life. It could be so many things. But if they're a high quality man who I can call on later on in life when I need them, they're on my team. So this dating process is all beneficial for me. All beneficial. I am not rushing into relationships, giving it my all, finding out that there is an alignment or we can't move forward, being heartbroken, having to break up, start all over again. I'm not objectifying men for a relationship, so I'm genuinely getting to know them and realizing that some people are just meant to be friends. I'm getting the treatment that I desire and the men that I am interested in moving forward with. I have this criteria, and if it's not being met, I know we're not moving forward. So if I want to move forward with a man, it's because he meets my criteria. So I'm having a good time because I know that I'm going to be treated very well because I decide who I'm going to go on another date with. I decide who I'm going to move to the next level with. So there's way less disappointment when I'm enacting this process in dating. And I'm happy. So at the end of the day, that's really all that matters. I care about other people's happiness. I want everybody to be happy, but not at the sacrifice to my own contentment. I am not sacrificing what I desire, what I want and need to give somebody else what they need and what they want. I'm not going to abandon my needs in order to satisfy someone else who's new into my life. This is not my husband. I can see maybe sacrificing for someone who's my husband, who's covering me and giving me the life that I desire. Yes, I'd be willing to sacrifice for that person. I'm willing to sacrifice for my children to a certain extent because they're adults now. But a new relationship, I remember this one guy, we had like a great time on the date, just like didn't want it to end. It was such a natural exchange. Like he was an old friend and he was attractive. We just really had a good time. We both agreed it was a great date. But this guy wanted to be in a relationship the next day. And he wanted me to stop seeing the other people that I was seeing. And I was like, I'm not available for that. That's not what I'm doing. And, you know, setting that boundary can be hard if you are in scarcity mode and if you are afraid that you will never meet somebody as great as him. Yes, you will. And he's not even that great because he's pushing up against your boundaries that you have firmly set. He doesn't like the fact that you're dating other people and he wants to have this number one position in your life and he hasn't even earned it. So you do better. You know what I'm saying? I knew I could do better. And so no, I'm not interested. He took it bad. He didn't really take it well. But that's not my business. Whatever his expectations were his business, and everybody doesn't get what they want. Sometimes I don't get what I want. Sometimes I want a man to ask me to take it to the next level and he don't, for whatever reason. We don't always get what we want. But it's important to always put yourself first. Make yourself the priority. Do what keeps you safe. Set them boundaries. Tell people no so that you can see what they made of. For real, you know, so you can really see their character. And pace yourself. There's no need to rush. And I know that can be challenging for women who are in their late 20s and early 30s and they really want to be married and have children. I get it. But slow is faster than fast. And you got to give things a chance, the opportunity to unfold. I have another story. This has just happened today. I teach incarcerated girls at a program in New Jersey. Today I was having lunch with them, and these are like teenage girls. One of them was writing a letter to her boo, you know, a guy who's home, he's on house arrest or whatever. And I share this information with them all the time. So first of all, you shouldn't be considering anybody your boo if they have nothing to offer you. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't, have nothing to offer, sis. You shouldn't be this excited. Secondly, she was writing him a letter and she was putting a stamped envelope in the letter so that he could write her back. And one of the other girls wanted a stamped envelope and she was putting him on blast. She was like, she just giving it to her boo. I said, you giving it to your boo? For what? So he can write me back. Well, why can't he get his own envelope? I said, she said, well, he's on house arrest and he can't get out. I said, sister, what you're doing is you're getting in the way. You like this guy so much. You want him to write you back so bad that you're willing to provide him with the stamp and the envelope to make it easier for him. He might write you back, he might not. He might write somebody else, right? But sis, create some space for that shit to unfold naturally so you can see if he really feels the same way about you. Is he just as excited about you? Because if he is just as excited about you and he really wants to write you back, get you that letter, he's going to figure out a way how to get it. He ain't got to stay in the house all day. He could go to Rite Aid. He could send somebody to Rite Aid. Yo, can you go to the post office, give me some stamps? Can you grab me a box of envelopes? He could do that. So she was getting in the way, which a lot of times we do. We enable these men so that we can get them to give us the outcome that we desire, instead of just creating some space to see if he really wants what you want. We want to be in relationships so bad and attached to somebody so bad, or we want this person so bad that We'll take the relationship, we'll take the person at the risk of them not even wanting us like that. Them not wanting the relationship. That's how we get stuck in these bad relationships. Because we are willing to do so much in order to get it. Like, you want to make it easier for him. Don't make it easier for these dudes. Let them show you that they really want you. It might hurt a little bit, but you'll be all right. You will. Because if you allow them to show you from the gate, then you won't be that attached to them. Let them show you what it is. Let them show you that you're valuable to them. Let them show you that they really want you. They really are interested in getting to know you. They really want to move forward with you and take the relationship to the next level when the time comes. Let them show you. Let them make the proposals. Let them do the work. We all value things that we work hard for. But when it comes to male and female relationships, men got to put in the work. Men got to be the ones to forward those things. Our job is to show them who we are. And we not for everybody. You ain't, but I'm gonna be myself so that this man can see me and then decide if I am the kind of woman that he would value in his life. I want a man to be like, this is exactly what I need. And I want to feel that way about him also. That's alignment. If both things don't happen, it's a hard pass. If he ain't excited about me and I'm excited about him, it's a hard pass. If he's excited about me but I'm not excited about him, hard pass. We got to be equally excited about each other. We both have to feel that the other adds tremendous value to our lives before we move forward. And so I'm going to create the space for that. I'm not going to make access to me easy to him. I'm going to create space so that he can show me that he desires to have access to me. That he even deserves to have access to me based on his actions, based on the tangible value that he's added to my life, and all of the high quality things that I'm going to get into at another video. But I'm going to wrap it up here. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know if you want to hear more content, what kind of content you want to hear. If you have any questions, I'm really willing to answer questions about dating and women's empowerment. Let me know what's good. Holla at me. All right.